Welcome back. In this video, we'll show you how to download and produce your game materials. That is what your teams will use to play your game. And we'll also give you a brief description of our equipment page so that you can find the necessary equipment that you may need to go ahead and host your games with audio and visual components. We're starting off on the Trivia EZ homepage, and we're going to navigate to the Downloads page. And on this page, you will see free downloads for you to use for your business to run your game. We have a number of different options. The first one I'll list for you here is the trivia answer slip that is designed for a 4x3 sticky note pad. A lot of companies like Vistaprint, 4imprint, all those kinds of things will produce 25-page booklets, which are ideal because that gives your teams a few extra slips in case they make a mistake. And they're also bound together and they don't fly all over the place in the event that a team was to try and set it on the table if you happen to step away for a second. So I highly recommend doing that. The cost is far worth the lack of effort having to cut up individual slips of pieces of paper. On this one, you'll see the trivia team scoring sheet. It's a full sheet that has the method that the teams can use to keep track of their own score, remember what they put down, whether it was correct or incorrect, and whether or not they get credit. This helps keep things kosher. In the rounds, you'll see there are 3 questions and the 3-point values for each for the regular rounds, but you also have the free writing space for the halftime and final questions. It also shows that the teams need to use a 5, a 3, or a 1 for the point values for each of the rounds, and it explains to them that this is for their use only. We leave space on both of these, both for the answer slip and for the scoring sheet here, for the team, for you as a company to be able to put in your company logo in the corner. And the descriptions for each of those things are listed below. We also have a full printable sheet if you wanted to just do it this way, the old school way, and cut it up yourself. There are 9 answer slips per page. It gives them enough space to put an answer down. So if you're just getting started, you may need to start with this one, and then once you've built up a little bit of money, you can use that to buy some of the sticky note pads. That would be a recommendation, but you're more than welcome to do it however you feel necessary. We'll go ahead and download the sheet here, and we'll open it up in another tab there. It downloads it to our desktop, and then we will move on to adding a logo. As you can see here, I've opened up Photoshop. You may not have access to Photoshop. You can use Canva or any other image editing software that's out there, and simply just drag and drop your company logo into the sheet, place it where you would like, and then you can do the same thing here. I recommend putting it on both sides. Now, this is an important step for this particular sheet. It is listed with the first half on one side and the second half on the other. If you're trying to be efficient with your paper usage, you can reverse this page's orientation from the print out 2 of them, flip the second one, and then print them double-sided, and then you'll end up having 1, 2, 3 and halftime on one side and 4, 5, 6 and final on the other, and you'll have 2 copies. So when you cut it straight down the center, you'll be able to have 2 of these team scoring sheets instead of 1 for every sheet of paper that you had in the ream. Once you've added your logo in your editing software, you'll be able to come back to Trivia EZ, and then we'll navigate to the equipment page. The equipment page is recommendations. These are things that we have used and know that they work, and if you would like to use them and you're going to buy them anyway, we ask that you click through our links because we are an Amazon affiliate. However, you don't have to do that. It's not necessary. You can buy them yourself. You can buy something similar. Whatever works for you and your company, we want you to do that. However, again, if you're going to buy them and you go through us, it just helps us out a little bit more. It helps fund the platform to make it easier for everyone. For example, you're going to want a multi-channel sound mixer. This is a pretty good one. We have a few other cables that you'll need to go from the mixer to your computer audio output, and so on. Each of these is a link in the chain that gets the audio and video from your computer to the sound system for the venue, and also makes it where you can mix your voice and the audio if you need to during the course of your game. The additional display shown here, you don't have to get this one, obviously. You can get any additional display, but we do recommend having an additional display alongside your computer screen. That makes it so that you can see what is on the display screen at all times. In some venues, the display screen you want your customers to see is not necessarily near where your audio input will be to the venue's sound system. So this enables you to see what is on the display screen. We recommend sharing from this screen and only having your display screen on that, so that the only screen being shared is the one that has the display screen on it, and keeping your host control panel on your computer screen alone. That's just one way to make sure that your players aren't accidentally seeing what the stuff that they don't need to see. And lastly, we do want to mention this. You can get pins anywhere, anyhow that you like that have your company logo on them. We totally understand and recommend that for advertising. But if you're just starting off, the big round stick pins here are fantastic. They work well, they're inexpensive, and you will go through some pins, my friends. The customers, the players, they will just make those pins disappear. So I always encourage you, one, start off with some inexpensive ones and get yourself going, and then you can upgrade over time. Again, lastly, if you go through these links, it does help out the platform. We do appreciate that, but it is by no means necessary.